Our presidency has announced that President Bola Tinubu is set to appoint new ambassadors in the coming weeks. This follows the recall of 83 ambassadors in September 2023 as part of a strategy to realign Nigeria's foreign policy priorities. Senior Special Advisor to the President on Foreign Affairs and Protocol, Ademola Oshodi, confirmed the upcoming appointments, stating that a statement will be issued soon. He said the process is expected to be finalized with Senate approval and accreditation for the new ambassadors. I think there will be statements regarding the ambassadors in the coming weeks, and the Senate and accreditation will take action to place them in the various missions around the world. The ambassadors are coming, but the most important thing we should realize is that things are being put in place for the ambassadors and the high commissioners. We have charged the affairs to the nations and consul generals that have been sent, more of a prelude to the ambassadors' arrival. The foreign missions are not in their straits. The president inherited missions that were not in great shape, so things had to be put in shape and prepared for the ambassadors and their families, dignitaries, diplomats, etc. Well, Dr. Henry, let's get your take on this. Tinubu, is trying to appoint new ambassadors, as it were, in coming weeks.
Well, it's the normal procedure of government, when a new government takes over administration of a state or that of a country.
Okay.
So things like this has to be done to make sure that administration of that particular government, is taking proper shape. Appointment of ambassadors is the responsibility of the president as empowered by the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. So for me, it's a responsibility of the president to see that Nigerians are properly represented in those countries where need be. So I think it has a duty to send the nominees to the National Assembly where they will be screened
for accreditation.
You understand? You understand? So if at the end of the day they are satisfied to be screened and all of that, then they will send back to the president for the normal thing to be done, and the posting will also be made at the end of the day. So for me, it's a normal routine of the government to ensure that those who have to represent Nigeria in various countries in the world are being made.
All right, it's quite interesting that he also made mention that the things have been set in place, the ambassadors are coming, and that the most important thing is that things are being put in place for these ambassadors and the high commissioners, right? Now, one would think, what would be the possible benefits we could get from these commissioners, or from these ambassadors, I beg your pardon?
Okay, ambassadors are those who represent their countries in another country.
Sure. And what effect does this have on the masses?
Well, it has to do with the programs of the government of his parent country to be projected in that country. Not only that one, you also look at the diplomatic ties of Nigeria to that country which they will be representing their country. At the same time, they will be working hand in hand with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to ensure that the programs and programs of government in Nigeria is projected. Now, secondly, you see, sometimes we have problem of appointing the right person to be in that position because it's a diplomatic duty. Though we have careers and non-careers ambassadors appointed by these people to represent us. But when you look at those countries where the relationship of Nigeria is very strong, like the UK, the US, the India, the China, and the rest of them. So those who will be sent to this country must be those persons who have diplomatic understanding or experiences where they can represent Nigeria and make sure that what is expected of them is carried out without any remorse at the end of the day.
All right. From this same article, they say that the president inherited missions that were not in great shape, and so things had to be put in shape and prepared for the ambassadors and the families, dignitaries, and diplomats. So what's this confidence that these ambassadors are those ambassadors that are in good shape?
Well, it has to do, like I said, every ambassador represents his country in a foreign land. And that's why when you look at the portfolios, whether you are a high commissioner, ambassador, and so on and so forth, you must ensure that the ties that relate your country to that country is properly projected. Because if anything happens, you'll be the first person the president will call, especially when it has to do with the citizens of Nigeria in that country.
All right.
You understand? The president will not call me or call anybody else. It's his ambassador that represents Nigeria in that country that the president will call. What is it that I'm hearing? What have you been able to do? So he will be in his position to brief the president and say, okay, this and that has been done. And if the president is not satisfied, he can say, okay, let us send a delegate to go and know what actually has happened. But then, it's not just on that. It has to do with the development that can be transferred from one country to another. Do you understand the point now? So when these things are being done on a cordial relationship, now when you have a soured relationship from this country to that country, do you think that they will have that trust on you? The answer is no. So for me, this is the right time. Please select the right people, send to the National Assembly, let them be screened, and then post them to this country to present and project the image of Nigeria in those countries. And
also to ensure that they are in great shape. Like
when we talk about great shape,
yes.
I'm struggling to understand great shape. Now, you as a country, what have you done to make sure that you put yourself in great shape before you send your people? Because, see, it's just like what you have inside, project outside. So you can now have wrong thing inside and you expect good thing to come out. No. So let's first of all build Nigeria to be great. So that when we send an ambassador to any country to represent us, we say, yes, I've heard good thing about it. I know that your country is developing from this level to that level. So not just saying great, great, great as a mere speech or talk. No.
Well, probably the National Assemblies would also screen these individuals and these ambassadors, and they will definitely represent us so well.
So that Nigerians will not be disappointed.
All right.